Welcome to What Builders Don't Tell Their Clients with your host, Joel Miner. Listening to the show, you'll learn how to avoid the unnecessary pain and avoidable costs that commonly occur in the building and renovating process. Joel will also inspire you with his knowledge, experience, and ideas on how to make your home a place to suit your lifestyle for years to come.
Welcome to the mini-series of What Builders Don't Tell Their Clients. Hello, welcome back to Step 5. I'm with Andrew Quadrio from Quadrio Building Services. I'm Joel from Refined Space Constructions, and this week we're going to break into some inspirations and ideas. So over the last 5 weeks, we've been talking about your 6 steps of planning. So last week we covered timeline and breaking into what sort of things are important when you're discussing timelines with a builder, and also working out what sort of time frames that need to meet your needs as well. So this week we want to try and run through some ideas to help you get some ideas and some inspiration and working out the flow of things through your own house. So a lot of people coming through renovations also they've always got something in their house they've already got, or a style they've already got in their house. So they're needing something to there's sort of 2 ways you go with this. You either completely change it, and that whole new section you're adding on, you just basically add on it and bring to the style you want, or you try and flow with what you've already got. So a particular one, I'm up in Queensland. I know Andrew's down in Sydney, but we get a lot of old Queenslanders up here, and some of the common things we have is we get that Queenslander style. So you get that old VJ look with belt rails, and people want to add that nice finish up the top, so they'll do a VJ style bottom half of the house, and then the top will be gyprock with a nice neat belt rail around the top. So they're trying to keep that style, that old traditional style, flowing through the house. And I think this is really important when you're looking at doing a renovation. And when you're coming to selecting tapware, flooring covers, paints, style of trims and whatnot, I think that's important to be able to figure out, one, what style you're after, and also looking at what you've already got in your house. So, I think there's a big difference between just trying to keep with what you've got, because a lot of houses are outdated. They're not they don't have that sort of style through what a lot of people are after. So I'm assuming you'd probably have a few people with this sort of thing, Andrew, and I guess what sort of suggestions do you say to people, or what sort of ideas do you break into with people when they're trying to find a style or inspiration or ideas through their house?
Yeah, g'day guys. Welcome back to the podcast. Hope you're all doing well. Look, the biggest thing I tell people is just if you have that piece in your house that you love, a piece of furniture, dining table, vase, it doesn't matter. Even a picture that you have on the wall or something like that, you want to design. You really love that picture and you really want to recreate that space in that vibe that's in the picture. Is the biggest tool that we find is really, really good is Pinterest. So you jump on a Pinterest and type in. So if you're doing a kitchen reno and you want a white Hampton style kitchen, type that into Pinterest and hit the search button, and it comes up with a million different ideas. You can in that app, and people probably know because it's pretty popular. You can create different boards or different albums for different things, and so we just tell people just to go through and make it as detailed as you possibly can. So if you like. Doesn't matter if you just like the way that splashback is in that one, in this photo, but then I like the cabinets in this photo, but the panels in this photo, and then the feet in this photo, and the kickers in this photo, and that sort of stuff. Just pull it all together so we can get the more information the better. Same as we were talking about in step 2 with the needs, wants, and dreams list. The more information the better. So get as many photos as you can of whatever tickles your fancy. So handles, tapware, sinks, floor coverings, as you just said. Just get everything that you can possibly like, everything that possibly could go in the space, and then we can mold your space from that. Sort of once we get that sort of thing, once we get that sort of pretty close idea of what you're after, then we can go to suppliers and look at specific materials to then pick, and we put. Usually we try and do a bit of a mood board for people. It is a interior designer tool that they do use quite a lot. So you get a big bit of cardboard or ply or whatever, and put your tile on it and your carpet finish and your paint colors and that sort of stuff, and sort of put it all together in one spot and look at it, actually physically look at it, and look at it in the space where it's going to go. so that you can actually see how it's going to look with the light in that room.
Yeah.
So there are some really good ones that we go through, and how we get people and how we get them to visually communicate with
Yeah,
us
definitely. I think that's
as to what
key.
they're after.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I'm not
definitely
in
key.
your head. I don't know. It's not my house, and it doesn't matter that it's not my house because it's your house, and we want to give you what you're after. So you need to communicate with me, not just verbally, but then visually as well. Lots and lots of people love. Everybody loves pictures, and lots of people communicate very, very well through picture medium. So.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot of people have lived in their house for 15 years and they're looking to update, and they've been umming and ahhing about this for the last 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years, and they get to a point where they've been thinking about doing this, and as someone who lives in that house, they've had all these ideas run through their house, and potentially when it comes to meeting someone for the first time, like a builder or a designer, trying to communicate this through pictures or being able to communicate this through verbally is really hard to do verbally. When you've got the pictures there, I find that the designer or the builder can work out what you're after, what sort of design you want, and from there that can really help them assist you in what outcome you're wanting to have. Because without having these things, it's really hard to talking to someone within half an hour to try and explain something you've been thinking about for 5 years. So I know there's another app out there that called House. I think this is more of an American style sort of app. I haven't had much to do with it, but I have heard of there's a lot of photos, images, stuff on there as well. So it's sort of like Pinterest, but more of an American version. So that's also a good, I think it's HOUZZ. So, there's plenty of inspiration and ideas on there. So I think, like what you said, trying to find a style, also working out what specific thing you like in that kitchen. You might hate that kitchen, but you like that splashback, like you said, or you might like them types of door handles. And I think screenshotting or saving them or putting them in a folder somewhere, so when you go to meet a designer or a builder, you can say, hey, look, this is the idea I have for the kitchen. Bang, bang, bang. 20 photos. All right, we like that. We like this. We like that part of this one, and so on. And then they can go, right, I get what you're after, what sort of style. And same comes to when like designing the kitchen. I find that can be super, super helpful because, this one, it eliminates a lot of back and forth between people. And it takes out a lot of miscommunication that, I thought you meant this and I thought you meant that, but really you were thinking this. So, do you have any other tips or ideas for people that are looking for, design? I know I say a lot of people go around and like when you're looking at specific things, go around and have a drive around in new estates and look what's getting built, and handrails or pit types of roofs or types of patio areas or decks. Just go around and have a look.
Yeah, or even what you don't want. Be
Yeah.
clear on what you don't want to the builder as well. Like say, I do not like this. I had a lady that we did a house for. We finished it earlier this year, and she didn't want something that looked modern. She wanted an older that sort of style, that mid-90s sort of thing. She was a 7-year-old lady. That's what she wanted, so that's what we gave her. So she specifically went around to new estates and took photos of houses, the current, grey house, dark brick, white mortar, that sort of stuff, and said, I don't want this.
Yeah.
And then I took that to the architect when we did the design, and she was surprised, but that's what she wanted. So that's what she wanted. So.
And I think human nature too is
very clear that what you don't want as well. It's very important.
Exactly. Human nature is, you can ask someone what you want and they'll be like, oh, I think I want this, this, and this. And you say ask them what you don't want, and they'll be like, bang, here it is.
That and that.
I
don't want black,
this,
or I don't want white, or I don't want grey, or.
So, and I think that'll eliminate a lot of problems when it comes to designing and looking for ideas and colours, and work out probably what you hate more than what you like, because when you start selecting them sort of things, it'll really help you decide on what you do like.
If you're unsure on what you're after, start with what you don't like.
Yeah, definitely.
Or if you come across something you don't like, take screenshot and put in your folder of the I don't like this bit.
Yeah, don't like folder.
This is the don't like folder.
Yeah, definitely. So that's step 5 of this week. So inspiration ideas we've touched on. So if you've any questions or any comments you guys are unsure, post them in the comment section below. Me and Andrew will both monitor this. It'll be on his page and my page. So welcome to ask questions if there's any other things or inspiration ideas you guys have thought of or looking for more. We can suggest some websites and whatnot, but some of the key ones I've found with a lot of people seem to deal with is Houzz and Pinterest. So Pinterest is a really big one.
And of course, Google.
Yes, Google Images. There's plenty of stuff out there, so that a lot of other people have done.
Yeah, architecture and that sort of stuff. The other thing I suppose you could do is you search, if you're into Instagram, you can search your hashtags on Instagram as well.
Yeah,
different
definitely.
architectures, lots of architecture pages and design. Every interior designer's got an Instagram account. Most builders do too, and we do. But you can search hashtags for kitchen renos and all that sort of stuff. Hampton style, as I said before, as well. Ultra modern, classic.
Some really cool stuff.
Farmhouse. Just search those and see what you come up with. A good starting point. And then you'll fall down a rabbit hole, if you will, of
overwhelm.
Maybe of overwhelm, but then you can just like what I say to people, there's too many choices. Just keep putting them into a folder, and then when you go back to the following day, when you go back to the folder, we'll look through the folder, they'll become a common thread.
Yeah,
because there's always something you like. There's a common thread in all those pages. There's something you like.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So
and that's how you can go about identifying the style, the colors, the shapes of things, that sort of stuff. You keep coming up with circles all the time, and you want something or curves. Then you want, you're going to want something. For some reason you're into curves, and you're going to want that in your kitchen or your bathroom or your living area or your extension or whatever, your deck. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So next week we're going to break into the final steps. So we're looking at doing step 6. And once we've covered all these key important factors, and I think a lot of people don't realize this, they probably skip the first 5 and go to the step 6. And I think this is why we're trying to do this, to try and give you guys as much help as possible and make it really clear and work out what you want so you can explain this to someone else, because I find communication is massive, like really important thing when it comes to doing this, because if you can't communicate this properly and your builder can't understand this or your designer can't understand this, then it all just starts falling apart before you even actually start the project. And this can lead to just disasters, variation, extra costs, all these things that lead to stuff that you get to the end of it and you go, I wish we didn't do that. Yeah. The stuff you hear at barbecues and parties and, all the good
current
stuff.
Affair.
Yeah. All the stuff that ends up on there. So next week, the very last step. So we're breaking into step 6, finding a builder and a designer. So we'll break into why this is important to be the last step and why you should figure out all these other things first, and how to find the right builder for you and what you should be looking for. So I'm Joel from Refined Space Construction. Then we've got Andrew here from Quadrio Building Services. We'll see you next week.
That's it for this week's episode of What Builders Don't Tell Their Clients, brought to you by Refined Space Constructions. Don't forget to join us next week for another episode. Thank you for listening.